Namaste. Here we are, ready to begin. I have a mat. If you don't have a mat, you can use a blanket or a towel. Doesn't really matter. It's nice to have blocks. If you don't have blocks, large books will work. And I have 2 rolled blankets that work really well when you have arthritis like me. So I can't get my knees a lot higher, so I sit on blankets to elevate my pelvis. And that gives me a little lift and helps me to sit upright and anchor my tailbone and lift up through the crown of my head. So that's where we begin in yoga. Go ahead and sit in this position, hands on the lap. Begin to just come to your breath. Close your eyes. Soften the shoulders, soften your jaw, soften your eyelids. And begin to especially soften your belly. Let it go. Just do some belly breaths, breathing in through the nose, expand the belly, breathing out through the nose, contract the belly. Just do that a few times. If it doesn't quite work that way, don't worry. Just find your natural pattern of breathing. No worries. Just begin to softly breathe. Set an intention for this practice today so that it will be nourishing for you. Maybe open the heart a little bit. And let's just go ahead and do that. So you're going to open the eyes, blink them open. Bring the hands behind you. And let's just begin to ground down and lift the chest. Maybe settle back a little bit and open that heart space. See if you can relax your shoulders and breathe. So not a huge back bend. You've got a little bit of belly engagement. Good. And just open the heart, lift the sternum. Breathe into this new day. It's a great thing about a morning practice. You're starting anew. Big breath in and out. Good. And then come back to neutral. Hands to center. Let's just start in gratitude. Just find something that you're grateful for. Begin this practice in gratitude, which I always do. Begin in gratitude. It can be something tiny, a person, something. Maybe it's the way your heart's beating today. Couple breaths in, filling up. Couple breaths out, letting go. Good, blink the eyes open. Go ahead and start head rolling. Okay, we're just gonna roll the head around a few times. Waking up, depending on how we slept, we might feel crunchy in the neck. Good, go ahead and lift the right arm. Reach, and then rainbow arc over to the left. Okay, you might wanna spider tip your left fingers. Your hand can always be on a block here. Keep the hips rooted as you find a nice stretch. You can even look under your right armpit. Come back up to center. Inhale, go the other way. Nice side stretch. Good. Begin to come back up to center. Inhale. And then just go ahead and walk off your seat. So we're going to remove the props from the mat if you had any, and come right into table. When you're in table, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, make sure all 10 fingers are spread. And you're just gonna move around organically. Think about what you need here, okay? The spine might have been crunchy during the night. Just kind of think about if you need space between your vertebrae, where you feel tight. A lot of times low backs are problematic. You might be sitting a lot these days. You might be driving a lot. So you just kind of wiggle around and do what feels good. You might want to circle your hips. Be aware of what you need. A few cat-cows. Drop the chest and belly, lift the chin. Inhale, exhale, round the back. And do that a few times. You're going to arch with the inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, round the back. Draw the chin to the chest, tuck the tailbone under. A few times with breath. Good. Go ahead and take the right leg straight back. Ground through the toes, pull the right heel back, and just breathe here. See if you can get a nice stretch on that right hip crease. If you don't feel it yet, then draw the belly in and up. Kind of spin the right thigh up a little bit. Kind of pull through that heel so you get a nice feeling that you're stretching the psoas, maybe that hip crease. Good. Go ahead and lift the leg a little bit. Doesn't have to be lifted up higher than the hip, just kind of at the same height as the hip. Stretch, and then pull that knee into chest as you exhale and round. Inhale out. Exhale and round. Inhale out. Last time, exhale and round. Engage your core. And hold it for a few breaths. When you're ready, take a block. That block should have been at the top, sorry. I'm gonna move my blocks to the top. Bring your foot up, okay? Now I have to use the blocks to get up, but maybe you won't, okay? I'm gonna let that back foot release to the top of the foot and come up for my warrior pose. Lifting the arms, okay? You're hugging your thighs together. Drawing your low belly in, anchoring your tailbone, and reach through the fingertips. And breathe. And then if you want a bigger stretch, you're going to let this right knee drop forward of the right ankle. Bring your arms to the side. Maybe open your palms. If this is bothering your knee, you've got a pillow under that left knee. A few deep breaths here. See if you can stretch out through that left side. Open the heart. Maybe do a little bit of an arching. Tailbone still keeps anchored. Belly is engaged. Lift and breathe. Expand. Notice how nourishing this pose is. If it doesn't feel good, you're modifying. Your hands stay on the block. You've got a pillow under the knee. And you're just here. Good. Go ahead and bring that foot back. Come back into table. And child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, shift back. Balasana or child's pose. Still breathing into that heart space, melting between the shoulders a little. Begin to come back up into table. Wiggle around as you need to. And then take the left leg back. Plug your foot down, pull your heel back. See if you can stretch through that left hip crease. Get really long. And then lift the left leg and start pulling knee into chest as you exhale and round. Engage your core. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, pull the knee in and hold for a few breaths, really rounding the back, pushing the earth away with the hands, and then see if you can plant the foot. Doesn't matter how gingerly you do it. You can either do it gracefully or not. You can see I'm not so graceful. Come up into your low lunge, lift the arms and breathe. Settle in. If you want a bigger stretch, this knee is going to come over the ankle. You can pad this knee if you need to and breathe. Keep the heart lifted. Keep the tailbone anchored down, belly in. Hug thighs together to center, to ground. This is a balance pose, remember. Maybe open the heart. A little bit of lift to the sternum. Good. And then hands to the block or to the floor. Step the front foot back. Good. Come into either puppy pose, where your hands are forward and your knees are behind your hips, melting the heart. It's also heart melting pose. It just feels really good to get that stretch from the armpit all the way through the fingertips. And then downward facing dog. If you don't want to do a down dog, you stay in puppy. Roll over the feet, roll over the toes. My heels never touch the floor. And my down dog is done with a bent knee, which is perfectly great. I'm going to anchor my tailbone up toward the ceiling, where the wall meets the ceiling. And if you would begin to press your hands down, shift your hips back, let your head go, you're going to get a nice stretch along the side body. You might feel it in your hamstrings, so you can pedal your feet a little. And breathe. Good, look at your hands. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat. If you were in puppy pose, you're going to get up to the top of the mat any way you choose. And take your feet wide. Give yourself space. Opposite hand, opposite elbow, ragdoll. Just go ahead and let the head hang. Shake out the head a little bit. Let the neck get long. You can either shake it yes or no. Engage the belly. Mostly important is engaging the feet. Press all four corners of the feet in and down. Just come right into a forward fold. It should be really ultra nourishing for the knees, or for the low back, sorry. Bend your knees a whole lot, so that the chest moves toward the thighs. And you can shift your hips up as you need to, as you feel a stretch in the hamstrings. But mostly I want you to just release the low back. Notice how nourishing this is to the low back. And you can sway side to side like an elephant's trunk if you want to. And just shake the head out a few times. Good, and go ahead and release the arms and slowly come up. Begin in mountain pose. All four corners of the feet rooted and grounded, lifting up through the crown of the head. Hands to prayer center, and close the eyes and just notice that when you root, you can lift. Okay, that duality in yoga is always rooting to rise. So root down through the feet, lift up through the crown of the head. Take a few breaths here, and then bring hands behind you. Go ahead and bind your fingers, or the option is to stay here. But just open the heart if you can. Drop the shoulders. Lift the heart, lift the chest. Just take a breath here. A few breaths here. We're so often rounded. We walk through life hiding. See if you can really engage here and open the heart and lift up through the crown of the head, lift the chest, just open. Good, and then come right into your tree pose. So we're going to start on the left foot, bring the right foot into the left leg. See if you can balance here. Find a spot that doesn't move in front of you. Press foot into leg, leg into foot. And just find that balance. If you have to hold on to a wall, it's perfectly fine. If it's easier to be here, perfectly fine. Take a few breaths. Notice that the earth doesn't move under you. It's steady and strong, just like you. Go ahead and switch. Right foot, left foot. See if you can lift up through the crown of the head and breathe. Soften your jaw. Good, come down, take a big breath. Let's reach and breathe with the fingertips. See how long you can get. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Maybe lift the right and the left and just kind of reach up on that shelf for what you're reaching for. Take some side stretches. Good, and then exhale, swan dive down with a bent knee. Come all the way down. Just drop the head. Shake it out. Go ahead and press your hands into the floor. Step back. If you want to do a plank pose here, you can. Set up for plank where you're tucking your tailbone under, drawing your shoulder blades back, Really engaging the belly, pulling it forward. Remember, shoulders over wrists. Your knees can be down for plank. You're still engaged. Good. And then we're just going to come right into our seat. Okay, so you're going to just shift back into the seat. Come onto the back. Allow the shoulders and head to relax. And then pull the knees up into your belly. Hold onto your knees, just rock side to side. Side to side on the low back, giving your low back a nice massage. Keep breathing. Allow the knees to drop to the right, arms out to a T. See if you can find length from the left armpit to the left hip here. Just settle into this reclined stretch, reclined twist. You're just allowing your head and shoulders to relax, allowing your body to get a little heavier. Bring your knees back up to center. Allow them to drop to the left. Space between your right armpit and right hip. See if you can relax your right shoulder, especially as you turn your head to the right. Your left shoulder, everything relaxed. Breathe in and see if you can just abide in the stillness. Notice how you're breathing and feeling. Any sensations in the body, notice. Bring knees back up to center. Plant the feet, plant the arms. See if you can pull your shoulder blades together and down, and then press the feet down and lift the hips. Setu Bandha, bridge pose. And here we're going to really press down with the shoulders. You don't want your chin into your sternum, so you really want this to be more like a supported shoulder. Press the feet down, lift the hips and breathe. Making space in the low back, you're going to kind of keep your tailbone anchored forward, your belly in and up. Breathe in and out. Good. Slowly lower the hips. Bring the soles of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. At this point, your palms can be open. Maybe your hand can be on your chest and belly. And you're just going to allow the hips to relax. So it's a big hip stretch. See if you can just allow the knees to relax. Stay here for as long as you like. Or you're going to bring the knees together, and we're going to just rock and roll a little bit and rock up to our seat. Okay? Once you're in your seat, we're going to end with some core. So it's my favorite core. It's called Navasana boat pose. You can keep your feet on the floor, and you're going to really be anchored with the tail and lift up through the crown of the head and the chest. Okay? If you want to challenge yourself, you're going to just lift your feet. Okay? You can feel just as much core in this position. With that engaged belly, you're going to just rock back to where you're anchored and you feel that core engage. You're like, aha, there it is. Cultivate your breath here. See if you can breathe easy. This isn't about the shoulders, so relax your shoulders and breathe. You can have your hands even behind your knees if you want to. Keep lifting through the chest, maybe even lift the gaze up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. Take a big breath in. Fill your cup up for the day. Come back into your seat. It can look like anything. We're just going to end with a Sukhasana easy seat. Notice I sit on a block. Easy seat Sukhasana, hands to prayer. And just notice how you feel. Again, fill that cup up and end in gratitude for everything that's good. Breathe it in. Breathe out any stress, any tension in the shoulders. Give yourself permission to fill your cup up with all the love, respect, and kindness that you deserve. Namaste. I'm honored to be teaching you today. Have a wonderful day.